Welcome back to the Malaysia Money Matters show. It's the 30th of October, 25.
Hi there. Yes, we're diving deep today into, well, quite a mix. Corporate news, some big economic shifts, political reforms too.
There's a lot happening.
Definitely. We'll connect the dots, starting with what's moving Malaysian companies.
Okay, let's kick off with IJM. They've bagged another huge contract. This one's RM 873.9 million.
Right. And it's for mechanical and electrical, the M&E Fit-Out works.
At Elmina Business Park.
Exactly. And this is really becoming IJM's sort of golden ticket, isn't it? Especially for data centers.
It seems like it. This comes right after that RM 1.26 billion contract last week.
It does. It pushes their total order book now to RMN 12.9 billion. That's serious long-term earnings visibility.
Big numbers. Driven by digital infrastructure investment, clearly.
Precisely. Now, moving overseas, PNB and EPF, there were these sale murmurs about Battersea Power Station.
Ah, yes, in London.
Well, they've stepped out to refute those. No immediate plans to sell.
So reaffirming their commitment. They bought it back in, what, 2019?
Yeah, for a hefty RM 8.86 billion. It's a long-term strategic asset. They do have to evaluate options when investments mature, naturally.
Sure, that makes sense.
But this statement, it's about showing confidence right now.
Okay, now for something a bit more complicated. KNM. They're trying to postpone a shareholder vote.
Yeah, it's quite the situation. They want to delay the vote on selling their German unit, DKNM, until after they're scheduled to be delisted on November 5th.
Wait, after delisting, why?
Well, it's a high-stakes move. Remember, KNM is PN17, financially distressed. Selling DKNM is critical. It's meant to repay RM 1.3 billion in debt.
So Bursa is involved.
Oh, yes. Bursa took legal action against KNM and MAA. It's about market integrity, you know. Trying to sell a key asset right before delisting raises red flags.
Right, protecting the market.
Okay.
Shifting gears, Lynas is investing more here.
That's right. RM 500 million to expand their heavy rare earths separation facility in Malaysia.
With samarium production starting soon.
Expected by April 2026, yeah. This is important geopolitically. It really strengthens Malaysia's role. Absolutely, especially with ongoing trade tensions. It gives Malaysia a strategic edge.
And speaking of tech and regulation, Zetrix AI is reviewing its WorldCoin collaboration.
Yes, that's following some actions by Thai authorities, including a raid on an exchange linked to Tools for Humanity, the WorldCoin people.
Does this affect their main deal?
The core agreement with MIMOs is still valid, apparently. But this review just highlights the intense scrutiny these biometric data and digital ID projects are under worldwide. Regulators want clarity on privacy and security.
Understood. Let's quickly touch on a few other corporate points. Capital A.
Looks like they cleared the final hurdle for consolidating AirAsia under AirAsia X, crucial for their PN17 exit plan.
Good for them. And Kipri.
Saw a big jump in first quarter NPI, 51%, mostly from new acquisitions, offering a nice 8.1% distribution yield.
Solid yield. Finally, Meridian.
Another PN17 firm. They got a third extension until March 2026 to submit their regularization plan.
Okay, let's pivot to the broader Malaysian picture. Political and legal reforms. There's talk of splitting the attorney general and public prosecutor roles.
Yes, the government's considering a full separation. The thinking is the public prosecutor might be appointed by the king, perhaps on advice from the Judicial and Legal Service Commission.
And the goal there is?
To boost transparency and accountability, really. Separating the government's legal advisor from the person deciding on criminal charges avoids potential conflicts of interest. It's a significant institutional reform idea.
Interesting. On the trade front, Minister Zafrul mentioned the U.S. reciprocal trade agreement involves some intense talks.
He called it 6 months of night owl negotiations.
Wow.
That 12-hour time difference made it tough.
Wow.
Yeah, he stressed the complexity, but also the speed. It wasn't a typical years-long FTA negotiation. It was positioned as a faster, critical safeguard for Malaysia's economic interests amid global uncertainty.
And speaking of cooperation, that Asian power grid actually saw some action recently.
It did. During that power outage on October 15th, Singapore sent 500 megawatts and Thailand sent 300 megawatts to Malaysia.
So it actually works in practice.
Exactly. It confirms the grid isn't just theory. It enhances Malaysia's energy security through practical regional support.
Good to see. Briefly on legal matters, MACC is looking into the KLIA Aerotrain project.
The chief said they're open to investigating potential corruption after all the disruptions. And in the 1MDB case, the prosecution is arguing Najib's defense is evasive and a concoction.
Right. Those cases continue. Let's jump to the international stage. Nvidia. Just incredible.
Isn't it? Blasted past a US $5 trillion market cap, the first company ever to reach that level.
Just staggering, all fueled by AI demand.
Completely. They've essentially become the bedrock of the global AI industry, sitting on maybe US $500 billion in new chip orders.
But they still face scrutiny.
Oh, yeah. Especially with US export controls restricting sales of advanced chips to certain markets, that dominance brings regulatory attention.
And then there's the contrast with Elon Musk's potential pay deal. US $1 trillion.
Yeah, a trillion. It's facing a lot of pushback from critics, unions, worried about unchecked power. There's a big shareholder vote coming up on November 6th.
It highlights governance concerns, doesn't it?
Absolutely. It's part of a wider debate about CEO control and accountability in these massive tech firms. Similar governance themes we see globally, really.
One more quick international note. Telenor took a hit related to Malaysia.
Yeah, a US $50 million negative adjustment. Cited rising 5G costs here related to Celcom-Digi.
Okay, so pulling this all together, we've seen huge infrastructure deals like IJM's, complex global supply chain moves with Lynas, massive AI valuations with Nvidia. It feels like the domestic market is really intertwined with these huge global shifts.
It absolutely is. And that brings up an interesting point from a recent Malaysian job market survey. It found something like 92% of top talent prioritizes job security over, well, higher pay.
92%. That's very high.
It is. So the question is this. In a world where you have US $5 trillion AI companies and RM12 billion local infrastructure projects needing top skills, how long can Malaysian companies afford to rely on stability as the main draw? Can they maintain market integrity and competitiveness without offering more aggressive compensation to keep that crucial talent?
That's definitely something to think about, how to balance stability with the need for globally competitive talent in this environment.
Exactly.
We hope you enjoyed this deep dive. Don't forget to subscribe to the Malaysia Money Matters podcast. Hey there, thanks for tuning in. If you would like a deeper dive into all the investment opportunities from today's news, subscribe to my newsletter at moneymatters.substack.com. I will be sharing a deeper analysis of the key investment opportunities from today's news, including what makes these opportunities stand out and how they fit into the broader market trends. By subscribing to the Malaysia Money Matters newsletter, you will also get exclusive insights on my watch list and portfolio and fundamental reports on Malaysian listed companies.